What's up, y'all? It's me, PR. I am me, coming back at y'all with another episode of the Prime Nostalgia Podcast. I'm here with my co-host Leeboy. Say what's up.
What's up? What's up? Leeboy in the building, LeeboyTV.com.
We are here with a special guest, returning guest actually. We got the lady that's on like 80 different podcasts. She's a TikTok star now since we last had her on the show. And yeah, she wants to talk about Shrek. So yeah, we got Alana here with us from everywhere.
Alana from everywhere.
Hey, sound excited, man. Like, come on. What's up with you, bro?
I could say
what kind of intro is that?
This is
the lady that wanted to come through and once was on TikTok once, and yeah, what? This is Alana. Come on, this is the friend of the show.
It's me.
I'm trying not to say anything bad because I know telling what her TikTok fans would do. She got a beehive TikTok.
Oh, she's got a hive. The Alana hive?
You know, I haven't workshopped any kind of name. I haven't even gotten that far. I would love to do that though. I should do that.
Oh, we're definitely going to be like presidents of the hive. The Feynmans, I'm not sure. The Alana, let me not start because it was going to get silly.
The one time I was recognized out in the real world at work, I was called Restaurant Story Girl because that's sort of my shtick. Because I just share like the insane things that people say to me at work in my restaurant.
And we love it.
So whatever's there. I don't know, my restauranties, is that anything? My like resta-hotties? Is there anything there?
Resta-hotties.
Is that anything?
What is it called when you're like a restaurant goer, a connoisseur? I don't know. There's something there. There's something
right?
there.
Or like foodies,
Foodies.
Something.
But it has
there.
to be something with the story, the foodies, the tea. Oh, the tea. There's some tea in there, something like that.
There is some tea that does show up in the comments.
How about you call them make me want to kill customers?
The other people who want to kill my customers. That's good. It's a little wordy, but I can start there. That's a good starting point. That's a good place to jump off of.
But nah, it's been first off, hilarious to watch, and I'm sure like an excellent like jump off and for you and a spark in your online presence. So how's that been getting like recognized in the real world and taking on some of that fame?
It's been wild. I hate to be like the thing that I've been dreaming about since I was little, but just being famous. It's just the one time that I was like recognized at work, and it was extra wild because I was wearing a mask and everything, and the guy was still like, "Are you the girl from TikTok? And this is like that restaurant? That's you?" So it was just weird at all, and I try really hard to not share where I work because I get a lot of comments from people that are like, I want to come to your restaurant and I want you to make a TikTok about me. I'm like, I don't need like a bunch of trolls showing up because it is also my workplace and like other people work there and dine there.
Yeah, it could get bad really fast.
Yeah. Luckily, it was like a very normal person that approached me and we had a very normal conversation and they were very understanding of the whole thing when I was like, you're sworn to secrecy now. We have a blood pact.
So
go ahead, Brent.
Just real quick, do your coworkers watch? Like, do they know that you do this series?
They watch, they know, they suggest things for me. In fact, every so often they'll come out from a table and someone will come up to me and be like, Alana, I need you to make a TikTok. Someone just said the dumbest shit to me.
Hey, you do get a lot of dumb subject matter. I mean, what was like one of the dumbest things that you've talked about on your TikTok that gets the biggest hits?
The one that I think about every single day of my life.
Not every day.
No, I think about this gentleman every single day of my life. He's a regular customer. He calls a lot. He's kind of a high maintenance guy. He likes things in a very specific way to the point where if he ever orders, he like requests for me to talk to him because I have memorized it all. He always orders a pork chop. And there was a day where he called back after he received his pork chop. And he said, I just had to call and tell you that this was the worst pork chop I've ever had in my life. And I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Like, what was wrong with it? And he was like, the meat tasted okay, but there was this like hard white thing in the middle, and it tasted terrible. And I was like, sir, what do you mean by like hard white thing? And he was like, I can't believe you even missed it. It was sticking out of it like a handle. And I bit it and I nearly broke a tooth on it. And I was like, sir, do you mean the bone?
No.
Like the bone of the pig that we keep it on. And he was like, how could you have missed it? It was huge. How could you have handed me this thing and not even realize that there was this huge white thing sticking out of it? And I was like, sir, it's supposed to be there. We cook it on the bone.
Now, is this guy trolling?
I wish that he was. I wish that he was.
Because
But
I mean, to constant or some of your pork chops fillet or
no, they've always been on the bone, always.
Right.
100% of the time we cook them on the bone because it tastes better that way. It keeps
right.
it
Keeps
like,
the juices. Yeah.
exactly, because we make good food. I think about him every day, and I had to like walk him through it. Like, it's the same as last time. We always cook it on the bone. Do you normally eat the bones? Like, and you eat, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the next question. Look.
What if you eat like chicken wings? Do you eat those bones? Like, how many bones do you eat? Do you know what it is? I have a lot of follow-up questions that I'll never know the answer. But I'd like to sit down with that gentleman, pick his brain a little bit.
So, yeah, I mean, you'll probably tell us later, but tell everyone where they can find these hilarious stories on TikTok. Also, they're on your Instagram as well, but I'm sure TikTok is the hot spot. We can get them first.
Is the hot spot. You can find me at Alana Fine Woman, like fine man, but I'm a lady. That's sort of my handle across all social media platforms. I post them on TikTok first, then on Instagram a day later, and then on Twitter when I remember, which is very rarely, but I try to.
See, not everybody's up on Twitter, Prime. He always gives me a hard time.
I'm not up on Twitter either, but I don't. He'd be like, y'all tag us in Twitter, but then he never takes Twitter. So that defeats the purpose of tagging us in Twitter.
Hey, man, I'm just with the times. Look.
Yeah, I use Twitter more for just like word vomiting my random thoughts when it's like 3 a.m. and I'm awake. That's more of what I use Twitter for. So I gotcha.
It's fun during live events, I think.
I think I seen, was that your tweet? You was like randomly, you just like, hey, if you know where I work, please don't tell anybody or something like that. Was that Twitter?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, if you know where I work, don't know where I work. Just forget.
Well, look, I assembled y'all here to talk about a movie that I thought already had its 20th anniversary, which I did not know that it was not this old yet, I guess you can say. But we talk about Shrek.
Classic in my house. Look, hey, why do I'm always trying to do like the horn sounds, but it comes out more like Blue's Clues. Like, I'm like, I'm like, I got these kids, man. They're tainting my DJ days. Look, but go ahead.
It's more from your diaphragm,
Yeah, that was just real sad.
It's like, lower in your gut.
It sounds like I was about to open up some mail or something, but jeez.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't know why I thought this movie was older. I guess because of how like quote iconic it is and how we see it. But just initial thoughts before we like deep dive into the movie. I'm gonna start with Alana. What is your just initial thoughts before we get into it?
Just like about Shrek as an institution.
as a prison
about Shrek University. Look, no.
Yes.
Institution.
So, Shrek the Musical was actually the very first musical that I watched upon Broadway when I was 14 years old, and we did my 8th grade East Coast trip. So already it holds a special place in my heart. It was able to be the fusing of my two interests, which are Shrek and also musical theater. And as a little like 14-year-old, like I am a retired like theater kid TM, like, the theater kids that like go to Denny's after opening night. There's a part of me that's still very much that. So to take that part of me and unite it with Shrek in New York City on Broadway, surrounded by all of my peers, was just like a kind of euphoria you can't get anywhere else,
I mean, Shrek is just so classically amazing on Broad. I don't know. It's just the quintessential Broadway play, right? No, but
right. But it had like the big names. It was starring
sure.
Sutton Foster and like Brian Darcy James, who are all people that are very important to me. And just to see it all come together and this just absolute like sensory overload experience. I'll never forget it until the day I die. But you know, I wasn't sure how many Shreks we were going to talk about. So I did just watch Shrek 2 like an hour ago. So I'm thinking about it in my brain too. But you know, I can't go wrong with Shrek. It's the cornerstone of my childhood.
Shrek is definitely a classic in my house. I mean, in 2001, I mean, it starts off with All Star, Smash Mouth, and All Star song, All Star cast. When you have Cameron Diaz, you got Eddie Murphy, you got Mike Myers, and this guy was destroying the game. I mean, we all know how crazy and hilarious and off the wall Mike Myers is, and scary for family films, but he really like turned it around, I would say.
Scary.
I mean,
are you talking about Cat in the Hat?
No, I'm thinking of his Austin Powers stuff. Like you can, like after that, he was you can just throw him on in the house, but he really like cleaned it up for this one and did his damn thing. So, you know, I love throw this one on for the kids. And what can you do when you have Eddie Murphy and Mike Myers? Like, who really stole the show? We'll talk about that later. Because Cameron Diaz, I mean, she has, you know, you could give her the nod as well. But one of those guys, like, who's the star of this movie? I don't know. But anyway. Yeah.
I find it to be more of an ensemble piece. You know, it's hard to find like the one person who carries it because they all carry it.
Mm-hmm.
I find
Farquaad. I mean, gosh, there's so
Chef's
many.
Kiss, the perfect villain, in my opinion.
We'll talk about him later. But I just want to say real quick before we like get into this movie, we done talked about some of our initial thoughts. Alana, you say you watched Shrek 2. Is that the one where they turn into regular people, or is that the one where they go to bar?
It's the one where they drink the happily ever after potion and they become super sexy. Like Donkey turns into like a hot horse and Shrek turns into like a hot guy.
All right. Well, look, we're gonna get into this movie, and what better way to get into it than who wants to start it off? Who wants to start off the song?
Oh, look, this is a perfect song. When you really don't know the words, you can sing this whole song. You don't need to know a damn thing. So
yeah, it's got like 5 words in the whole thing.
All right, can we all sing it together on a Zoom? It might like lag.
I don't know. It might not sound good. That's
I think that's part of the charm of it. It's part of the spirit of the whole movie, right?
Somebody once told me that was gonna roll me in the sharpest tool in the shed. I looking kind of dumb with the shape of an L on your forehead. Well, I do some. I don't know the words, but it don't keep
running.
All right.
Your brain gets smart, but you gets. I know the lyrics.
I don't know the lyrics.
What's wrong with Backstreets?
You never
done if you don't.
You never done
if you don't go.
Hey
now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Woo! Joe won't get paid.
Get out my flashlight on my phone.
Only shooting stars. Is it Kel singing? Like it sounds like this dude been drinking orange soda all day singing that shit.
I think that was art. That was the most beautiful thing I've ever been a part of.
That
on my IMDb.
That's an NFT right there. Look, if there ever was one, let's press it up.
Real quick, I was going to say, I don't want to say this movie started Smash Mouth, but like there were definitely way more things after this movie. Their songs were used in way more soundtracks. You know, you got a lot of different songs. And then I was watching this movie. Alana, you probably have or maybe not have seen it. They did the whole soundtrack for this movie called Zoom.
Called Zoom?
Yes. Have you not seen Zoom? Okay.
I have not. I feel like I would remember if I saw a movie where the soundtrack was entirely by Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
It stars Tim Allen.
Nah,
that almost sounds familiar to me.
I will definitely shoot you that later.
You should.
Well, maybe not. It's more of a
Yeah, don't be recommending whack movies, Prime.
bro, this movie is definitely
Prime will
not
just
good.
have you watching stuff just because he's seen it. Look.
No, it's movies that like movies. Some movies are just not good, but they are like it's like Spy Kids is not a good movie, but it's just it
You
gives
gotta
you
watch
different
it. Yeah,
feelings.
you have to
So
watch
yeah, like Halloween Town, not a good movie,
it.
gives you good feels.
I get that.
No, I will say I do like the intro of this movie though, because like he's taking a bath, but like everything he touches or whatever, it's like the person's name in a special kind of way, which I don't know. I don't think movies do that at all anymore. They just had the black text or the white text, black background scrolling. This one I felt was great, and I'm assuming it kept the kid's attention by having his name spelled in farts or whatever. Uh, but yeah, intro. I like. How do y'all feel about the way that the movie was brought in? Just watching it the first time and then watching it again. Either one.
Well, I mean, in general, just like the whole setup of him of him being an ogre, and then all the characters are like literally from like fairy tales and fairy books. Like, I mean, it just literally it like sets up a different world for you to like jump in. As a kid, I mean, at any age, it's very relatable because you've heard these stories, and then now these characters are having personalities that are funky and that tell the story of Shrek, and also they just throw them all in as a crazy mashup, kind of similar to like Ready Player One, where you're having characters from different movies and all like a mashup. So I thought it was interesting, and it set up for a bunch of great callbacks. Like we get to the Gingerbread Man, and the don't we see the Little Red Riding Hood and the Bad Wolf and everything, like kind of in the beginning, and Three Little Pigs. Definitely get the Three Little Pigs. Look,
Three Blind Mice.
Three Blind Mice. Is that this movie? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, the Three Little Pigs are in it too, right?
Yes, they're
Yeah.
German.
Okay.
He huffed and he puffed and he signed an eviction
my
notice.
But, yeah, man. I thought it was interesting, and it made for a bunch of plays for callbacks and everything. So yeah, it's a great setup to the movie.
Alana, what about you?
There's really a little something for everyone in it, isn't there? You got like the most modern soundtrack that you could have at that time, like when Smash Mouth was like in its heyday. You've got your like, I hate to call it like crude like little boy humor where it's like farts and burps and all that. You get that one. You get the familiarity of like all these characters that you get like your jokes for kids and you get your jokes for adults. So little something for everybody,
I was gonna say this question. I gotta ask right off the bat. I don't know. Y'all might want to take it. How does Donkey and this dragon work? I just want to know that.
It's gonna be one of those things where like it works if you don't think about it.
Because I was like, all right, I'm not gonna.
But also, Prime, love is love is love.
But like, how do they have kids though? Like, I'm pretty sure her entity is bigger than his whole body. So like, how do they?
Also, I assume she's a reptile, correct? Does she lay eggs?
I don't know.
Did their children hatch?
Don't know.
Yeah, and he's a mammal, but hey, you've seen these dog breeds, right? How they're mixing them up. It's a lot of big ones and little ones, like.
But at least it's like mammal and mammal,
Yeah. But have you seen like the Chihuahua Pitbull mix? Like that one makes me think that one's getting popular too. Well, I mean, can we get on the donkey? I mean, I love one of my favorite scenes. I'm sure we're gonna get to the favorites. It comes kind of in the beginning, but it's when Donkey's trying to get Shrek to let him stay, right? And he's like coming after you. When you got somebody all in your face and they just won't get the hint, they won't leave. He's like, yeah, and he's like, and then it's just that awkward silence, and he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, can I stay with you? Like, come on, bro.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles.
Exactly. He's on the couch already. Like, completely hilarious how like Shrek just can't get him away. Like, no matter how much he hates him, and this like persists throughout the entire series, right? He's like trying to kick Donkey to the curb at every turn, but he just, when they all in your face and they just won't leave, they won't get the hint. Yeah, we know. But yeah, Eddie Murphy. I mean, what more can you say about the Murph man?
The Murph man.
I just made that up.
I felt like they could have literally did a whole Donkey movie just by like him ad-libbing in this one movie. I feel like they got enough. They got enough of him ad-libbing to do a whole Donkey movie just from this.
I wonder why we didn't get that. We got the Puss in Boots spinoff, but we never got the Donkey spinoff, and I wonder why that was.
Honestly, I think Eddie Murphy hates doing Donkey, but he just does it. Like, honestly, because I remember something I was watching, he was like, yo, I got too many Shrek movies and projects, but I might be done doing Shrek. You got like 5 movies and like a spinoff and like a show or something. Like, they did a lot.
I think he should absolutely still bring it back, do a TV show series. I think that would be so funny, but obviously he's probably beyond that in his in his mind, in his career. But he's just coming out to Coming to America. He didn't even do no press for Coming to America. He just threw it out there and just went back in his hole. So I'm sure he's not, needing to or wanting to come back to do this. But this was a great time, I believe, in his career. And comes off the back of Mulan, right? Mulan was first, and then he got this.
Mulan was 97.
Yeah. 2 iconic roles, very close together.
Yeah, he killed them, man.
I think like after he's supposed to do what's the movie with the guy Who Framed Roger Rabbit? He's supposed to do Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He was like, man, this movie sounds stupid. Human and animation, and then of course it got big, and then after that he was like, well, I'm not turning down any more roles. So there you have it.
Yeah, I mean, and this was a good one to pick up for sure because it's going to last. I mean, it introduces him to a whole new generation that won't forget him, and they won't even realize that it's really him if you don't know that or how iconic Eddie Murphy really is. You just know him as Donkey. I mean, we just went up to Universal, and there's a guy that's for sure getting paid just impersonating. In fact, I need to look into it. Look, I can maybe own my skills.
He's not even impersonating Donkey though. He's just doing Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, he's just doing Eddie. Look, that's
pretty good.
Yeah, he's just doing Eddie. Look, I need to practice up. Maybe I can get me a job at Universal or something.
Now, I will say, initially Shrek was supposed to go to somebody else. Do y'all know who that person is?
It was Chris Farley, right?
Yes.
And didn't he die?
Yes.
Like while he was almost done and he died.
I think he did like 75 or 80%. And instead of just doing it, they just redid the whole thing. So,
damn.
Yeah.
And this was obviously after Austin Powers and everything, right? Mike Myers was already a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's already hit in the, he's doing Wayne's World in 92. And
right.
SNL, so yeah.
I forget that he was on Wayne's World, yeah.
Don't ask me, it's Mike Myers just now getting on the rise in 97. Come on.
And you guys know where he's from? I always
he's not from Britain.
Yeah, I know. I had to look it up.
Scottish
Canadian.
Or Welsh? Or
he's just Canadian. He's just Canadian. What? He's faking. Yeah,
I believe
I bet he was from. Huh? Say it again.
I believe he's just Canadian.
Yeah. I had to look it up before this because I'm like, this guy is either from Britain or Scotland or something. Nah, he's just a
that's the thing though.
Fake French guy.
Canadian, eh?
Yeah, he's the A guy. He's one of those A's.
Nobody said how Shrek should sound. He randomly said, hey, you should be a British guy. Randomly. And just recorded the whole thing as a British.
But I thought he was more Scottish.
British or Scottish. But I'm not. Yeah. One of those accents.
Yeah, I think
I
he's
don't
Scottish.
know which one. But he just randomly did it. Like, nobody told him to do it. Chris Farley did it his regular voice.
That would not have been as good, in my opinion. Yeah. I think what just makes it, like, I can't imagine an American Shrek.
Donkey.
There are clips that you can go see. You can see you can hear some of Chris Farley and Eddie Murphy recording for it. But yeah, like again, Shrek Who? I feel like we barely talked about Shrek. But yeah, let's just go deep into the movie. Pretty much Lord Farquaad wants to find a wife so that he can be. Why does he want to find a wife? I actually don't know.
Well,
Just to have one.
is he a lord looking to become a king?
I think so. I think he's not like in line to rule any country. He's just one of the lower rate, you know.
So Lord is under king.
A lord, I think, yeah, would probably just be like a war general, a leader of the army, versus being the inheritor of the entire earth.
Yeah, it's like a duke versus like a
Right.
prince, you know?
Right.
Like a prince means
I
that
think too much into this. I'm like, there's no king already.
yeah, he's looking for specifically a princess so that he can become king of something.
So, but anyways, there are three choices
to overcompensate for.
Yeah. Fiona, Cinderella, and Sleeping Beauty. Now, I'm just saying, if you want to be the king and you don't really care about a wife, why did he just pick Sleeping Beauty? Just like, hey,
I know.
she speaks all the time, so she's not gonna know anything. So just whatever. But hey.
Yeah, why did he pick the one that was the most work to obtain? Not like their objects, but like why did he pick like the one that came with the most work if he's just looking for like easy kingship?
And wait, did he know that there was the whole dragon that was guarding her when he chose?
I think the mirror sort of like
he
like
said it on,
print.
he said it like kind of quiet on the side, like the car like the car commercials, like
but like he was gonna tell him about
drug commercials.
Like what? Can you like was that a fast forward, sir?
Yeah, it's the terms and conditions we
we don't need the TOC. Come on.
To his fault, he tried to tell him about the other part, the other situation that happened with her, and he was like, I don't want to hear it. So he was like, before you do this. And Lord Farquaad was like, nah, I don't care. I'm gonna go get it. So, anyways, they send all the monsters to the swamp. Shrek is like, all right, these monsters. Sorry, I keep thinking of stuff, but like, how is it that before Donkey, everybody's afraid of Shrek, like just off looking at him, and then now all of a sudden he's with Donkey. Now all of a sudden they just like. This guy, they just like it's regular now. Going in his house, taking his food or whatever. The animals are just whatever. Creatures are just.
I think it's safety in numbers because they threw like 100, 200 there. Like, was he gonna kill everybody? Like,
could have. They didn't even know. Like, they were just going up to him in his house.
Hey, they had no choice. That was where the Lord sent them, banished them to his house. But yeah, they probably felt a little safer since they had all those people there from all them storybooks. But otherwise, yeah, one-on-one, they can't mess with Shrek.
But I mean, like, if Shrek like wanted to kill any of them, he could, you know? He chooses not to like murder in cold blood, you know? And he just absolutely had the option to at all times. But like
he's merciless, yes.
Deep down, he's like he just wants to be alone, you know? He doesn't want to be
be a murderer.
Yeah, he's not in it for like the sport, you know. He's just like, I like to be alone, you know. I'm an introvert.
I mean, it takes a long time to clear 200 bodies out. So, I mean,
some of them are small, you know. 3 of those 200 are mice, you know.
Yeah, but you know, you gotta move them. You don't just want them to just sit there in front of your yard while they decay. Like, you gotta move them out. Maybe he didn't want to move them by the truckload or whatever. But he goes to Lord Farquaad and basically saying, I need my swamp and all this. Sends him on a journey and all that. By the way, another great song, Reputation, Joan Jett. Great song. Yeah. But pretty much, I'm just going to shoehorn this, go through it. I don't care. We missing stuff. We're going to go back to it.
We don't know like the plot of Shrek.
Yeah, they save Fiona from this dragon. We'll get to that part. But they save Fiona from the dragon. He unmasked. They walk to Lord Farquaad. They got to stop at a certain time because situations happen, which I will get to later. Just initial question: what kind of dress does she have? when she grows, it grows, and then when she gets back, it gets back. That's all I got to say.
It's a very forgiving spell. You know, like it was nice that the spell was able to adapt to her different body sizes. The magic did not need to do that. I thought that was really generous.
It did not. But yeah, so I always had questions about that, like why does it just not rip in half or rip or anything?
Because the magic's a bro, you know?
Yeah. But
looking out for her.
Anyways, I guess Shrek overhears her. So he thinks that she's talking about him, but she's talking about herself. Spoiler alert, she's an ogre. What? Anyways,
what are the odds of that, you know? They're
yeah,
just so happened that the one princess we chose also an ogre.
And
I was gonna say, and that's probably one of my favorite scenes is that big reveal where she just pops out and Shrek. I mean, it's Donkey. That's all surprised. My God, you ate the princess! Look, and he's like trying to call into the princess. Princess, can you hear me? Can you hear me inside? If you're in there, we're gonna get you out. Like he starts going, hilarious, and she's just like, "No, it's me, Donkey." And he has to look inside her eyes. But yeah, hilarious scene. That whole reveal, it was actually a great story curve, you know, because didn't really see it coming. Obviously, you just think she's perfect, and obviously she's judging Shrek the whole time for his appearance and things like that. Knowing like she could have ended the whole movie at like a long time. She could have been like, "This is perfect." When she first seen Shrek, like, why didn't she? That's the real question. Why didn't she tell Shrek right away, knowing what she looked like in her? You know, at the after midnight,
we know like, exactly. Oh my God, this is perfect.
Yeah, this is it. Like, stay around to 12. Look, I'm gonna explain the whole thing. You're gonna see the night. It's gonna be the big reveal. But no, she had to hide and lie and all this and drag it out.
Just to totally backtrack on what I just said. She has been fed the narrative all her life that like if she marries her true human love, then she will then be human because you know she's still a slave to societal beauty conventions, you know. And it's before she realizes that love, you know, doesn't know physical attraction, you know. But she's still drinking the Kool-Aid, you know, that she has to be a human to be pretty and cool and loved. But, you know,
so it really touches on a current social topic, which is nice, I guess. But yeah, so she could have taken the high road and just been herself. So let this be a lesson to all you ladies out there. Be yourself. I don't know.
But also, like, at that first meeting, Shrek was like, I don't give a shit about this. I just want my home back. So, like, let's fucking go, you know? Like, Shrek wasn't in it for love to start.
Which I'm going to talk about as one of my favorite parts later. If we get to that.
I was going to talk about some of that right now.
Okay.
I always think of these random things, of course. I think too deep into it. I don't care. But, like, how is she... So, does the dragon like her? Because how is she in this big castle? And stuck in just her room? Like, does she not eat? Or like, how does these things work? I don't know.
Yeah.
Literally.
I do hope that the dragon did take on like a motherly role. You know how like in Peter Pan where they have Nana? That's how I hope the dynamic was. It probably wasn't, but that's what I'm hoping for.
I'm like, if that's the case, she's literally, her parents locked her away to starve in this castle. In a room with no food or nothing, and she's just supposed to play sleep all the time.
Maybe they left her like a hot plate or something. I don't know.
Does she ever eat? I mean, maybe that's part of the spell. I don't know.
Hopefully the spell came through in that way too.
Right. Keep me nice and fed in the spell. Look, I'm not trying to be hungry all day in this cold castle.
But I mean, if she is alone for 15 years, I would think that cooking would be like a nice hobby for her.
Be real nice.
At least give her that, let her experience that.
I mean, she did have that one scene when she killed the bird and
maybe she's got archery skills. With like a boomerang that brings the bird back after it does like.
Well, she makes the bird explode, right? Because she sings such a high note. In the Yeah. And the bird tries to match her tone, but it's too high a pitch and the bird explodes.
Wow.
That's what I don't want to say that's what the bird did, but why you kind of one up somebody? Like you a bird, like just sing your song. You mind your business.
Get out of here.
You don't try to be one up with people and then you explode. That's all on you. Anyways.
Hey, quote of the day. You a bird.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Bird ass bitch.
And also, it's supposed to be like a Snow White spoof, right?
Right.
Singing with my bird friends.
Farquaad comes to pick up Fiona with the crew. I cannot get over this scene so all these years I never noticed this, and I just noticed it this time I watched it. He's on the horse and he has fake legs, and it bothers me so much. He has fake legs.
Oh, right. He puts his legs into
longer legs
the chaps,
on
yeah.
And then they take him out of his armor like a baby. So it's like he has fake arms to make his arms longer, fake legs to make his legs longer, and all that. They take him out. It's like a car. It's like a ride where you like got to strap in. They take him out, and so the real Lord Farquaad is shown. We go back to the castle for their wedding. Don't know how long of a time frame this is. It seems like it's all in the same day.
It's because they got like 3 days or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because she's like, I gotta kiss this guy now because at sundown he's gonna see that I'm an ogre, and then this whole thing is gonna be for nothing. So she's like, let's get it moving. You know, that's why there's
another opportunity just to be yourself. You know, but come on, Fiona.
And of course, they have the wedding in this big church. They have the scene where Shrek changed his mind and chases her. The only thing that was missing was rain. I feel like you can't have a good chase down love scene without rain. Like you gotta be in the rain, or at the airport. One of those two. You gotta be rain.
I'll take a church though. I'll take an I object at a wedding. I think that's dramatic too. A rain wedding at an airport.
Have you seen It Takes Two?
I've not seen It Takes Two.
Not sure.
That's Olsen twins.
That checks out.
Well, anyways, they have the same ways. That's probably why I didn't mention it, because there's a lot of I objects. Even though there's a lot of airplane scenes and rain scenes too. The I object, I know, because it's like it's going to happen, even though the ending of all these. They're going to wait until they're not going to show up, and they're going to wait until does anybody object, and they're going to wait. That's what they do. The doors be
bust
closed,
in the back
shut.
of the church. Yeah, bust in the back of the church.
Wait. Yeah.
And his tie is always falling off or something. Yeah, he didn't took 100 buses to get there.
Yeah.
Wait.
I mean,
Girl, you only own a bus pass. You can't even get to a wedding. Why would I marry you?
Nah, I always like the plane scenes the best. I don't know. It's just something about it. It's like you get to the gate and you're like, wait, but I love her. And then the plane, the plane's like, go get your girl. So,
oh yeah.
And then security will hold the entire plane so that one person.
In real life, that doorman would get fired for sure. You just letting random people on the plane that's running through. You ever heard of 9/11, sir?
Oh my God, a TSA nightmare.
Somehow, some way he finds the seat right next to her that's open.
Right.
And then whatever happens, they don't even get on the plane. They get off the plane. And it's like,
and everyone's got to clap. And the clap on the way out.
Those are just so ridiculous. It's like,
that would be possible if it was Southwest, because on Southwest you have to line up in order. You just find her and then you knock out the person behind, steal the ticket.
And why is it always the last possible second possible? Like, why is it always like they're like 5 minutes?
I always tell you this, that's the drama of the movie, sir. It's got to be the last minute.
Yeah,
what if change it up?
I feel like I wouldn't want to watch if it was like, I caught you 3 hours before your flight,
While you're still at home, I just called you. Yeah. I just texted you while you were packing. Yeah. Like, it's got to be the last second, It's got to be.
Why you can't just catch her getting off the Ubers, getting to the airport. You don't pass security. You don't pass.
That is a lot to do. Yeah, that is a whole lot.
You are in the plane.
In fact, that doesn't even check out anymore. Like ever since 2015, you're not getting past security, sir. You got to have a boarding pass. Look, you just printed up a boarding pass too. Like, where'd you get that from?
No, I came to stop you at the Starbucks in the airport because the security line was short. Gave yourself too much extra time.
I know you're on the plane, but can you like come back to this Starbucks right here? Because I can't go further than this.
Come find me. I'm in the airport Red Robin.
But of course, we get the scene. Shrek comes in and stops the wedding. They have a fight scene in the church, which just blow all the windows down and kill everybody with glass for sure.
I mean, this is when Farquaad meets his demise. He just gets gobbled right up by the dragon. So
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like they should have had him and Shrek should have fought a little bit at least, not just just
1 second. That was it.
Yeah, that's it. He was getting up.
Yum yum.
And
Scooby
then of
snacks.
course,
Look.
live happily ever after. They live happily ever after in their swamp. I don't think it was understood where Donkey sleeps at. So does he sleep outside or does he sleep in the house?
I'm sure he sleeps in the house. He probably tries to like sleep in the bed between them. Like if I had to guess.
Yeah, definitely at the foot of the bed, if anything, but trying to get in the bed.
Although this is addressed in Shrek 2, which I just watched, because Shrek 2 starts where they go on their honeymoon. It was just their wedding.
I remember that scene.
On the honeymoon, and then they come back and he's just been house sitting. So there's technically not a question yet as to like where he sleeps in relation to them.
Okay.
They're still newlyweds, technically. Just to take your question and like make it not fun.
No, that's good.
Just to hit you with my facts.
And then we get not the best scene, but I feel like one of my personal best scenes is I'm a Believer scene, just because of just the song and Smash Mouth. The monkeys and Smash Mouth, it's just, come on now. Y'all know the lyrics to this song. Okay, stop. All right.
I'm a believer if I tried, yes.
Do you know the first verse?
No.
So true in fairy tales, meant for someone else, but not for me. Right? That's it, right?
Yep.
Love is out to get me.
Yep.
That's the way it
seems. Disappointment until I want you. Leeboy.
Then I saw her face. I'm a believer. I'm a believer. Couldn't believe it if I try. Yes. We can.
I think.
Then I saw her face.
Yeah, I'm a believer. I believe.
That part. That I believe part is just.
Hey, this soundtrack is definitely classic. Definitely.
Yeah. Yes,
these are songs I definitely wouldn't know for any other reason other than this damn soundtrack and this classic movie. Probably would not have hit my radar as hard. I mean, obviously the Smash Mouth All-Star was like compared to a lot of different songs at that time. I couldn't even think of one. I was Blink 182. It sounded a lot like that, and everybody was kind of into that type of rock at that point. So it would have hit the radar, but not as well as I know them based on this movie, for sure.
I think aside from this song, I think their other biggest songs, Hey Now, right? Am I right? Anybody? Correct me on that. Nobody. Okay. They are not Hey Now, Hey Now, Hey Now. Oh, come on.
Are you asking me if I know the other songs by Smash Mouth? Because my answer is no.
No.
See?
I only know 3 Smash Mouth songs.
Yeah, I think when you've heard one, you've heard all of them, right? That's sort of my understanding.
I mean, I thought it was Green Day when I first was trying to look it up, but then it came up Smash Mouth. So
okay, yeah. But look, we're gonna talk about this movie. We're gonna song for y'all. So we'll be back. And you know what? What song should we play during the break? Well, which one?
Some Smash Mouth. Whatever you was talking about, whatever one you was talking about, because we know the other one. We know All Star.
You know what? All right, fine. We can play that one.
No, I'm saying what movie you're trying to? What song were you trying to make us remember?
It's called "Come On."
Throw that one on. Come on.
Yeah.
You should
Sure,
play All Star, but you should do the one that we sang in the beginning. That's what you play in the break. Just
loop
that
back,
sound bite.
Yeah, just throw us over the track. Actually, that'd be amazing. I'll do that.
I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna do that later. Don't worry, I got you.
Oh, I hope we all sound in sync. What if we sound like something?
I'm sure we are. I
think
think that's what's gonna make it so beautiful.
Well, we're gonna play this song and we're gonna be back. And 1, 2. And we are back. We are back. Talking about Shrek, 20th anniversary of Shrek. And we talked about Shrek, but we haven't talked about Shrek. But y'all know what I mean. Y'all been listening. I'm here with Leeboy and Alana. Everybody's here.
We're here. We're back.
Hello.
Yeah, we came back with. Hopefully, the listeners came back with us. Look.
So let's hope they want to continue to sing with us. Sing Shrek.
Just sing any Shrek.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about some of our favorite moments. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of favorite moments. So who wants to start?
Look, Farquaad, when he's walking through the ropes and he's trying to get the guy that has the Farquaad head and he's trying to run away from Shrek.
Oh, that leads into my favorite moment, which is the "Welcome to Duloc, such a perfect town." That whole business with the little wooden people in the little song.
In your face, right? And it's the ass.
Like your face.
Duloc is the perfect place. Yes.
So,
yeah, hilarious.
In the Broadway musical, that leads into a huge production number. Like they do that song where they have people dressed up as the little wooden things, and it leads into like an introduction song for Lord Farquaad, and it's insane.
I'm sure they're like dancing and hitting pirouettes and coming from everywhere. And
the pro shot version is on Netflix, so you could actually watch the Broadway version of Shrek the Musical if you wanted to.
Oh, that's actually, I might check that out.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I don't know how to ask this question. Is the person playing Lord Farquaad like a child?
No. Oh no, it's very funny. It's like he's played by Christopher Sieber, who's like a very well-known Broadway person. He's won many Tonys, and he's also like 6'5", and he just kneels the whole time. He is in like a box that has little tiny little baby legs, and he just kneels and like walks around on his knees.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's got to be a job for a small person. They got to be mad, man. That was their one shot. Like
probably 6'5" guy though.
That's what I'm saying. They're like,
yeah, he's like a very large man.
This is my one shot to like take over. Like somebody's probably been training their whole lives. I can't wait till they do Shrek on Broadway, right? Some small guy out there. I mean, no offense, but this is your shot. And then they got a 6'5" guy that comes and it's always the tall guys taking over.
You know, I never thought about it that way, about how it could have been like a really powerful moment for accessibility.
Right. In 2020, they would not miss the opportunity. For sure.
The musical came out in 2009, so it was recent enough where they could have it's not like it was like before its time.
They could have, but yeah, someone out there is fuming for sure.
So one of my scenes that I got questions about a lot of scenes, but the dragon scene with them, and he puts the sword in the middle. I just want to ask: is that sword really strong enough to stop this 1,000-ton dragon that weighs a ton? It's just a sword in the middle of the chain.
Probably not.
You know, and
probably not.
And the thing that makes me upset, the dragon is just there, like no questions, no questions, no how do we get here. She just shows up at Shrek's house, like just randomly.
You know, love is love, man.
You can sniff that donkey out from anywhere. Look.
Yeah, right.
Which I mean, I know you're all caught up on their story. I love their love story. Actually, that was on my list of favorites. Is the donkey and dragon mashup, as we called it earlier. I mean, it's the perfect play on things for Eddie Murphy. Whenever he has like, you know, he does this in a lot of movies where he has a woman hanger on her. It's just that just won't stop, and he has to like force him off. So I think they wanted to like utilize that those comedic skills from him, because he does that well with being charming, but also not, you know, when he's not into it, he can deliver a funny performance for sure.
And you know, I assume that was a very sexy dragon. I don't see many, but I assume that on, you know, the grand scheme of things, I bet she was a hot dragon.
If you had to rate, yeah.
And he's a noble steed, and he's funny, and hot women like funny men.
The reveal, though, he was like, "Oh, you're a dragon. Oh, a girl
dragon."
And granted, it was coming out of a place of like survival, because he was just trying to charm her out of not eating him.
Right. But, they were literally gonna die had she not taken him away. That's the only way Shrek got through.
Scenario. Yeah.
Yeah, he really could not have gone better.
And, y'all got more favorite scenes?
Well, not my gumdrop buttons. I mean,
not buttons. Not the gumdrop buttons.
That whole scene. I think he was
of anything
in the scene for like one scene. I think he got one of the most memorable scenes.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man!
Who lives on Drury Lane? Like, obviously, like, no, when you first saw this movie, that was the scene that drew you in, especially as if you saw it in your younger years. Like, everyone came to school impersonating the gingerbread man and doing the whole Muffin Man scene. And then you couple that, this is like one of the first scenes you see Lord Farquaad as well. And the talking mirror, which I think was an excellent character. He does like the game show stuff, and it like brings a different element of like technology that you probably weren't privy to in like 2001. But yeah, the gumdrop button scene though, and just in general, man, it's classic. It's hilarious, and then it's also there's some like fear and some like real consequences to that scene as well. So I think that part was hilarious, obviously.
I think every person over a certain age, if you just ask them, do you know the Muffin Man? They'll say this whole scene.
The Muffin Man?
Oh, she's married to the Muffin Man.
Oh. The Muffin Man! The Muffin Man! Oh, man. Yes.
There's a lot of memorable scenes. Like, Shrek is obviously like a now kind of movie for a reason. So it's a lot of memories and moments. Do y'all have like the weirdest moment, like watching Shrek? I have a weird Shrek story.
I don't know if it's like a weird Shrek story, but part of why I like Shrek so much is that, I mean, there are good moments, but there's also some really great like one-liners. And something that I've sort of incorporated into my regular vocabulary as of late. If I hear anybody just say like, that's not very nice, I now out of habit just answer with, he's just a donkey, because that's like a line that Shrek says in the very beginning. I think when he like Donkey's first running from the Duloc people. And I don't know what they say, but Shrek just sort of like, hey, that's not very nice. He's just a donkey. I think they're like looking at Shrek and being like, a monster. And I say that just like, he's just a donkey all the time. And when there's no context to it, people are like, what the fuck are you saying? But that's the thing I say all the time. Just, that's not very nice. He's just a donkey.
I have heard you say that in your life.
Yeah, I do it on Twitch all the time.
What about the scene where Fiona is fighting the men? Well, the men have a great scene though. The dancing scene that they do at the beginning of the little song. It's catchy, but it's like, why is this needed? But it's fun. I think that's why Shrek works too, because it has these funny scenes for no reason, to where it's like, I actually like these scenes. But the fight scenes.
That was a scene that I was actually going to mention as like a standout scene for me, which is the parody of like the Robin Hood, like Men in Tights sort of thing that they do. And then when Fiona just comes out and like ends them all with her martial arts. And we see that Fiona is like cool, you know, she's not just like a princess, she's also just like a cool person. And that's when the love starts to happen because Shrek is like, oh, you can hang. And Fiona's like, yeah, you can hang.
Yeah,
So,
man. Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
No, I was gonna say, and I kind of like alluded to it earlier, but it's just like the way they break the fourth wall, the way they add in some adult humor and kid situations, the way they reference other movies. I love movies that take on that approach, and it just adds an extra element of thinking that you could just watch it over and over and catch something different like every time.
Okay. I thought love was only true in fairy tales, but
Meant for someone else, but not for me.
yeah. What's the use of trying? All right, now Leeboy looked like him.
I could do it all day.
Leeboy was like, what? What is going on? I think that's all I got to say about this movie because I can go on and on and on. And, I think people have been listening to us rant enough. About
Well, one last question. Let's answer. Let's try to bring it up. You got Shrek or Donkey? If you had to choose one to be, or you know, if you want to say your favorite, who's more needed to the success of the story? Is it you think? I think Eddie Murphy took the show, so I'm gonna just say Donkey.
I agree. I'm a little tripped up in the language of the question just because like the movie is called Shrek and you can't have the movie without Shrek, but Donkey is the best part of it.
I think so. What you got, Prime?
Yeah, I say Donkey is the best part because Donkey is the talking. Shrek doesn't necessarily do a lot of talking. He's just basically like, get out, leave me alone, shut up. And those are like his main words, or Donkey. It's like his main words. Other than that, is Donkey doing the talking and Shrek just looking around and putting his hand on his head.
Yeah, Donkey did not need to slap as hard as he did, you know? Like it could have been like I think, you know, Chris Farley, I'm sure, was a fantastic Shrek, but it's like other people could play Shrek, but no one could do Donkey as good as Eddie Murphy did Donkey. Like
well, there it is. Eddie Murphy, come on to the show. We need you. Look,
please.
The 20th anniversary of Shrek. If you had to sum up Shrek, the first one, in one word, other than Shrek, what would it be?
Iconic is my word.
Okay.
I would say I'll give it a futuristic. I think it definitely lands. A lot of the jokes still land today. It's still getting, I think the format's still being copied. And so I think it was definitely forward thinking.
Yeah.
I'm going to just tell y'all, both of y'all failed the test. I was going to say nostalgia, but I mean, come on.
Okay.
Well, I'll show myself out.
That's fine.
It is nostalgia at its peak for sure. This is definitely a good nostalgia movie. Starting with the soundtrack. Soundtrack always plays a big part in that too.
The soundtrack is amazing. Anyways, Alana, tell everybody where they can find you, your TikTok, your streaming on Twitch, your 85 other podcasts, and everything else.
Yeah, I'm extremely existent on the internet, so I apologize in advance. But you can find me across pretty much all social media platforms at Alana Finewoman, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitch. I do Twitch streaming now pretty much every Wednesday at about 7 p.m. West Coast time in America. I also have a few of my own podcasts. I have It's Broadway Bitch, where my friend Christina, who hates musicals, sits down with me, who loves musicals, and I force her to watch them, and we talk about them.
They did a Shrek episode.
We did, and it's still our most popular episode to date.
Nice.
Our Shrek episode from our first season. That's why it's fresh in my brain. And I also run TBTV, Throwback Television, with my co-host Kimberly, who's been on this podcast before, where we watch your favorite early 2000s tween sitcoms, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, the like. We are on a hiatus right now, but our episodes are still out in there to listen if you'd like to take a listen. We've had Prime on there before, so Prime's a friend of TBTV.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, I've worked on my elevator pitch since the last time I was on here. I've tightened it up a little bit.
It was nice, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Leeboy, tell the people what's up.
Oh man, you can find me on leeboytv.com. Make sure you check out some of my merch, the All Swag merch on the my T Public store. It's tpublic.com/LeeboyTV. I think. If not, just hit the link in the bio. That's the easiest way to get there. Or off leeboytv.com. Go ahead and just hit the whatever that thing is at the top. It's there. All right. Just stop playing. I don't want to say this anymore. So just go visit.
Is that it?
Oh yeah, go check out Leeboy and Fuzz. Is that what you were getting to? Look,
Yeah,
I just put out a
yes.
new Leeboy and Fuzz episode. I talk about the passing of DMX. I'm gonna put out some more funny stuff. It was somewhat funny. I mean, it just gets kind of dark, but yeah, I'll put out some more Leeboy and Fuzz soon. You guys just check out my Instagram and also my YouTube.
Y'all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at KVNG Primetime. I actually did a Shrek commentary, watch along, whatever. So that will be out by the time this is out. So y'all can go when y'all watch Shrek. I can put Shrek on. Y'all can put me on. Y'all can listen to me and Shrek. You know, y'all know how those things work. So y'all can do that. Like I said, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, I mean, soon I will have more episodes of Prime Conversations coming soon. And I think that's it. Like, just listen to the podcast. Go to Apple, leave a review. You know, be nice, please. And
yeah, because if you're not gonna be nice, just don't leave a review.
Yeah, I mean, don't leave a review.
But only if it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, who wants to waste their energy leaving a review and leave 1 star?
Those are usually the people that want to leave reviews is to hate. Yeah, like
yeah. This was the worst thing I've heard in my life. I would not suggest this to anybody.
Well, that's how it works on TikTok, because any comment on TikTok boosts the algorithm. So I'm always like, tell me whatever, roast me, tell me whatever you want. Because if you say anything at all, it boosts the video. So whatever you want to do.
I guess.
Don't be mean to other people, but roast me all you want.
But yeah, so there's the thing. Shout out to You Already Know podcast. I have to shout them out. I have that shirt. I don't know when it's gonna be available, but it'll be available soon. And you can get it. Anything else we got to say about Shrek or anything before we get out of here?
Love you, Eddie. Come on the show.
If Eddie comes on the show, can I also come on the show?
Yes. Just because, look.
We need that. It
ain't happening. Look, I'm just throwing that out there, but it's cool.
Hey, I'm manifesting it.
It could.
And I'm inviting myself.
Yep.
But like, even if you had said no, I will be present. So
That's fine.
Anyways, from me, from Alana, from Leeboy, Prime Time is all the time, and we out.
Hey.
Y'all want to sing again? Yeah.
Hey, now you can throw
You're
it on,
an
man.
all-star. Get your game on.
Go
play.
Hey, now
You're an
you're a rock
all-star.
star.
I believe.
I believe. All right, y'all. That's it.